started with a quick forward fold. Face the left. Get out of the space. Feel some space between the vertebrae. Kinks in the low back or neck. I feel a lot of kinks in the low back. See if I can get that out. There we go. Nice. Alright, next up, upward facing dog. Timer set for 3 minutes. Let's go. Fingers pointed towards the toes to enhance the forearm stimulation and sensation. Turn a little bit towards the camera. There we go. And the low back, after that nice satisfying pop, seems to already be pretty much in alignment as far as it likes to normally go. And so we can look up early, pretty early today. 2 minutes, 24 seconds left. I'm not sure if the alarm is audible, so we'll see. Relax, release, enjoy the pose. Yeah, there's no way to set the alarm would vibrate, right? It is apparently the same audio setting as the ringtone, which during the day I've started turning completely off. So when it's completely off, it doesn't even vibrate. An alarm that doesn't make any noise doesn't work so well. So I have to make sure to remember to turn the alarm back on. But those are other things outside the body. With this, feel the body. Feel the back, the neck a little bit. Feel all the space between the vertebrae. Feel all the vertebrae themselves. All your nerves that are along your spine. Feel all the muscles. You might even pulse a few of them. Help pull those a little bit further back. Different amounts of sensation up and down along the spine. Just relax, release, and find all that sensation. 58 seconds. As you relax into the pose, feel that forearm sensation, and send your conscious awareness to the spine. That's what we're really trying to feel here. So, a lot of sensation on the lower spine. So what I would like, I can see, I can't quite see, not so much for profile, is to enhance the articulation of the middle and upper back, because it seems like the lower back has a lot of articulation. It's doing a lot of the flexing. It'd be nice to open perhaps some more of the upper and middle back, if that's possible. Relax, enjoy the pose. You might wiggle your fingers a little bit so that you know that they're in the right spot. And then push up a little more. Feel that stretch on the back. Feel that sensation. Feel the right amount of sensation. Now look at that. The alarm is working. Very good. And so from here, let the hands equalize. Do just a very brief scorpion pose. Follow up with kind of a wheel type thing. So the first, start with the left leg, hit it and quit it, right? So hit that really quick. Awesome, good stuff. I can do that. Now let's start from a wheel and then go to the elbows, just to do something a little bit different. See how that feels. So still kind of an elbow stand-ish. I've got my fingers interlaced behind the head. This is a very different pose, not used to it. So that's good. So it means there's lots of room for growth. Scorpion was getting a little stale. kind of hard to keep the feet where I want them to stay. So yeah, it feels like I've got a lot of room for opening on the shoulders as well as the upper back. I'm still putting some weight through the head into the hands, so I've got the backs of my thumbs pressed into the head. My fingers interlaced underneath my head, so I'm resting my head ever so gently onto my hands. And look at that, you can even see the timer, 1 minute 30 seconds. Or 1 minute 33 seconds, right? So this is an interesting pose. Different types of effort, not nearly as much shoulder effort as required for scorpion. Very different placement of the body. My feet really want to slide. So that's why I back them up a little bit to help prevent them from sliding out. If I try to get my heels to the earth, then the feet want to slide out, because apparently I can't put enough pressure on the feet. Alright, because I need to open the front of the body a little more. So, this is a very interesting pose. And I think I'm starting to hit my limit. I think we'll go and call that a day for that. And relax. Rest. Pretty intense. Especially since I haven't been practicing that every day, so I'm used to it. So that's good. Alright. So, next up. 10 seconds left, so we'll cancel that timer. And then we start the next pose, which is good old standby forward fold. This is a real long form forward fold. Get all the parts of the body in a nice, good, and correct spot. Allow the upper body to dangle from the pelvis. Yeah, get in frame, right? There you go. Be balanced, right? Be balanced in frame. So maybe one more. A little bit. You can see the painting in the background. There you go. See the feet. Hey, look at that. There you go. Big toes, heels, ankles together. Straighten the knees. Interlace the arms. Left arm first. Today's an odd number day. Relax the upper body. Find your balance. Use your legs for balance. Let the upper body relax and release. Feel all that lovely sensation in the body. Breathe. Got a little congestion today, so it's not as free-flowing a breath as I'd like, but you make do with it. Relax the head, neck, and shoulders. Let the upper body dangle. Try and get the pelvis to rotate just a hair more. Swap the arms. Maintain your balance. Check the sensation on your ankles, right? Conscious awareness. Feel that sensation on the ankles, so the ankles pushing too hard to each other. If not, right, use the musculature of your feet, your shins and calves, to rotate your feet so that the ankle doesn't feel too much pressure. You should just feel just a gentle touch between the two ankles. Just like the big toe and heel, just a gentle touch between those 3 points of pressure on both feet. Engage the quads, straighten the legs. Relax the neck, relax the shoulders, relax the back. Feel the body. Maintain your balance and focus. 2 seconds. And that's that. All right. Good stuff. Next up is half pigeon. But my special super funky half pigeon, right? So this is a normal half pigeon, right? So you've got one leg in front, one leg in back, and you can fold this all the way down. I find that to be a little bit too easy for my liking, right? Because I've been practicing for a very long time at a reasonably advanced level for a very long time. And so I grab the back leg so I can get a quadricep stretch. Hamstring stretch, right? But then I want the right shoulder behind the left heel so that I can get a nice stretch on the left hip as well as a little bit of a stretch on the right quadricep. But the left hip is the limiting factor, so I'm feeling most of the stretch there. And I can basically relax more or less. Yeah, head positioning. And yeah, I can feel the my big toe on the back of my head. Yay, fun stuff. Eventually I want to get the right hip towards the earth. But the left hip is saying, no, you can't do that yet. And so it also I need to like rotate my right knee that direction, like that kind of rotation a little bit further in order to get over a little more. But again, the old left hip's got to open up a little bit more first before that's going to happen. So we enjoy the stretch on the left hip while we get a little bit of a stretch on the right quad. And you just relax, release, feel the stretch. Yep, there's that left hip. Feel that stretch on the left hip. And it's enough of a stretch that other muscles keep tensing up in order to maintain the pose. So that's when you know you get a good stretch. When it feels like you can't relax all the muscles around it. That's some place where you've got lots of growth or potential for growth. And that's that. Yay, good stuff. All right, we got 2 stragglers. Yay, good stuff. Thanks for joining, guys. Next up is the Ben's Funky half pigeon on the other side. So you start off with a kind of a normal half pigeon, right? Except I've got the leg way up, right? That's the quote-unquote advanced half pigeon, because when you're not so super good at it, right, you're kind of stuck back here, right? And then eventually the pelvis hits the earth. And then eventually you start bringing that opposite leg up, right? And so then from here, I add on a little bit of a quad stretch. And then the goal, right, to get that left shoulder behind that left heel. Yes, your mileage may vary. And look to the opposite direction. And there's a lot of stretch going on here. The timer started. Yes, we do. 2 minutes, 14 seconds. Yeah, so I got the chest down. The shoulder still isn't quite behind the heel. Oh, the big toe can tap the back of the head. And there we go. And interestingly, on this side, I feel a little bit more of a quad stretch as compared to stretching the right hip so much. So that's interesting. Yeah, the right hip just doesn't feel as much sensation or as much of a limit as on the other side. So then let's see if we can get that shoulder hip down a little more. There we go. Shoulder hits the earth. Right heel on the left shoulder. Just the hand placement on the left ankle. There we go. Starting to feel some stretch on that right hip. Yeah, right. So the second side is generally more open than the first side, right? Even though you're doing opposite sides and stretching complementary muscles, right? Opposite muscles on opposite sides of the body. But there are some parts of the body, right, that get stretched, whether you're going to your left or to your right, and those parts are already used to getting in place, right? So that's why the second side, or at least that's my thinking of why the second side is always just a little bit more open than the first side. 30 seconds. And enjoy the pose, feel that sensation. Yep, nice sensation on the right hip. A little bit on the left quad. Not really the left quad, right? More the kind of the left upper leg. Right, so I guess the left thigh. Some on the knee. Most sensation on the right hip. Is that it? And that's that. All right. Good, fun, fantastic stuff. Next up, hamstring stretch. All right. I've been going low effort the past few days, but today I'm going to increase my effort on the hamstring stretch and do Hanumanasana. So we'll get that timer started and kind of find the positioning. Right, that's where the foot is. Yeah, that's just, there we go. Not easy to get the whole body in frame on this pose, right? There we go. So I'm kind of on, yeah, so I'm leaning forward a little bit, right? So that I've got the pelvis open to the side. I've got a lot of weight in my hands, especially the right hand. And I'm feeling a stretch on the left hamstring. So that's what I'm feeling. And it feels like what feels right to do, right, is to use the weight on the, press into the right hand, let the body kind of stretch over and start to get till I get the pelvis onto the earth. So it feels like I can almost get the pelvis on the earth. And yeah, I've got man issues, right? That's not fun. When you're trying to stretch, it does get in the way sometimes. You relax. So yeah, I'm feeling nice. A lot of sensation on the left hamstring, and it's all from a place. So yeah, a lot of physical effort in this pose. More than Janu Sirsasana, which is what I normally do. And I'm kind of on top of the right quad, right? Or it's kind of halfway, right? I'm kind of on the inside of the knee, and so I'm halfway between the inside of the right knee and the top of the right quad. And the right leg is about 45 degrees off from the pelvis, off from center from the pelvis. And the pelvis is about 45 degrees off center from the left leg. And got a lot of weight in my hands so that I can really focus. And I'm using apparently a lot of hip or something, or I don't know, some muscle down here to really feel a lot of sensation on that left hamstring. Really cool. So yeah, I'm selling out, right? I feel a stretch, and I'm doing everything I can to get more of that stretch. Because it feels like it's just a muscle stretch. There's no nerves. Everything's in a good spot. Everything's happy. And yeah, every once in a while you pulse the muscles, the quads, the hamstrings, the hips, to feel what that's like. Be careful when you do that. that could dramatically increase sensation a little bit too quickly if you pulse the muscles too fast and you're not used to it. But that's why you pulse the muscles, so that you can get used to using the muscles at that extreme level of sensation. All right, so that is 3 minutes on that side. Find an easy way out. And that is pretty extreme, so kind of relax a little bit. Clear out the timer. And get the timer started for the other side. So, that other side, right? So, face the camera a little bit. And again, a lot of weight, right? I've said put most of my weight forward, right? Rolling forward so that I can feel the right hamstring. Because that seems to be allowing me to really feel that stretch. And then as soon as I get the pelvis right, as soon as I get the pelvis towards the earth, right, and really can start to put weight onto the pelvis, then I'll start to straighten things out, or at least that's my guess. But right now I feel a lot of sensation on the right hamstring, so that's what I'm going for. And yep, this side is, again, feels a little bit more open than the other side, because it's the second side, number one. Number two, my right side is generally a little bit more flexible than my left side. So I've already basically got the pelvis down, and yeah, trying to make sure you get, when you're a guy, when you get the pelvis down and deep leg stretches like this, you got to get other parts in the right spot. So yeah, and again, you want to pulse the muscles a little bit when they're at an extreme, right? Because there's extreme stretch on the right hamstring, right? You want to pulse the muscles around that gently, very gently, so that you can start to feel what it's like. So that those muscles, right, your body, your conscious awareness, you feel what it's like to pulse those muscles, right? And when I actually pulse it, there's a muscle right here, like on the bottom, right there, that has some pretty extreme sensation when I pulse that. And yeah, it's sensation, right? If I held it too long, it'd be pain, right? So that's why you pulse the muscle. you don't hold it, because you just want sensation. You don't want pain. Because when you go into pain, right, then the body's going to pull back naturally. It's going to find other ways to pull back to prevent you from hurting yourself, right? Because your conscious brain is saying, hey, do this. And the body's saying, yeah, it's not working. And so that's one of the glorious things about yoga, right? Is you start to learn and communicate or respect your body, right? Because you've got this conscious idea of what you want to do, right? And then the body says, no, it's not working, right? And then you negotiate, right? It's like, well, can you do this? Like, oh, yeah, we can do that. Can you do this all day? Maybe not. And pull back a little more. It's like, can we do this? Yeah, okay, we can do that. And you find that level of sensation that you can hold and hold and hold. And you get better and better and better. That's how it works. So, stay out of pain, right? A lot of sensation is okay, but pain is no bueno. It's not good at all. All right, so next up is splits, right? As I've said in the past couple videos, right, a great way to start working on splits, if you're not there already, is start with Baddha Konasana so you can open up the inner thigh. Because that is probably one of your limiting factors, and that's actually how I started. I was able to get my knees down on that actually kind of early in life, but everything else, and I couldn't do this early in life, right? This only came about after 6 to 12 months of daily practice in my mid-30s, right? So, yeah, most of my childhood, most of my adult life, I was very, very tight, really tight, tighter than most people. But then you focus on it, right? You stretch every day, and you get better. And stretching is one of those cool things you can do every day if you moderate your practice. so that you don't go too far. And that's one of the things that you're trying to do, right? What is your limit? How far can you go? And do it every day. So when you decide to practice every day, it's safe to not go to your limits because you're going to do it again tomorrow, right? And so it's actually kind of interesting. One thing you'll find is that you consciously decide to not test your limit, right? To stay behind your limit, but still do the practice. And interestingly enough, during the day, what you may find is like, oh wow, that's actually kind of intense, and that really kind of was my limit. So allowing yourself to go, to pull back behind what you think your limit is, can really help your practice. And so from here you relax, you release, you enjoy the pose. Once a force into the heel. Yeah, that's right. And another thing I started doing is press the shoulders down. Take the hands out to the side. And yeah, look at that. The right thumb appears to be, yeah, I was having it felt like the end of the limit on the nerve in the right thumb. I still feel a little bit of stretch, but not nearly as much as I did a couple days ago. So the body is adjusting. And feel the breath slide in and out of the body, equal parts inhale and exhale. If you can't focus, count your exhales. Feel the breath slide in and out. And bring your conscious awareness to the parts of the body that have sensation. And are we done? We are done already. Look at that. It's already been 3 minutes. I apparently have a lot to say today. Alright, so we started the timer. Next up is handstand. So get the hands under the shoulders. Press up into the starter pose. There we go. So starter pose because you go from here to the handstand. If you want, you can bend the knees. This is a great place to practice hovering, which is a great way to build up your coordination and musculature to once you're ready for your handstand. So yeah, hover, right? Try to keep the feet an inch or two above the earth. Yeah, good luck with that. Your mileage may vary. Takes a lot of effort. Takes a lot more effort actually than doing your actual handstand, but it does build up the musculature so that you can do the handstand. So hovering is a really, really good thing, especially if you've got like some extra calories to burn. But from here, I'm gonna go up into the handstand. So we bring this up, maybe. There we go. And then adjust the weight. Slowly straighten the elbows a little bit. Let's see what we can do today. How long we can hold it. Oh, is that it? No, maybe. We'll see. We'll see. I bend the elbows more to get more control, but then you want to straighten the elbows so that you can stack the joints. And less effort is required. But hey, that was pretty cool. And the wrists are saying, yeah, that was a lot of sensation. That's good for today. Because I had the entire weight of my body on my wrists. There's a minute left, so I probably held it for, what, at least 30 seconds. 45 seconds to a minute. And we had lots of people join. Awesome stuff. Thank you so much. All these videos go over to YouTube. So if you'd like to catch the beginning and see what else I had to say, please go ahead and watch that. Feel free to leave a like, leave a comment. And I hope each and every one of you enjoy the rest of your day.